Hey everybody, today I would like to talk about how you are able to woo a social media influencers to help you in your marketing approach. Now, if you have not watched my previous video about the advantages of using social media influencer marketing, be sure to click on the link above to take you to that video, and you can watch that video first before you continue on with this one. Right, there are a few ways that you can utilize or a few steps that you can follow in order to woo a social media influencers. Now, the fact is there is such a huge potential if you know how to tap onto this social media platform to help you with all your marketing strategies. The reason why you need to know this is because nowadays people are migrating all the traditional marketing approach to social media marketing more and more. Those who are popular influencers, those who are already having a large following, they are going to get a lot of inquiries. They're going to be getting a lot of messages every day. Probably they'll be getting like hundreds of direct messages and emails. So you need to know the right approach, how to woo them, how to engage them, so that you'll be able to get them to promote your products and your services through the shout-out advertisings that they offer. Right, let's begin with the first step. Step number one is be strategic about it. Right, just because all these people have like a large following doesn't mean that they will necessarily want to work with you, right? So it is very difficult sometimes to reach those people with followers base that is like in the millions. Sometimes even 500,000 or more is difficult for you to reach, because you can imagine that they would probably be getting a lot of similar requests on a daily basis. So what you can do is, number one, be strategic about it. Stop targeting people with large following first. Instead, target the smaller channels first. What this will do for you is it will be easier for you to reach them, and it is going to be less competitive. And the good news is it's probably easier for you to get their attention, and there are probably more of them, right? People with smaller following. So number one, be strategic about it. Target the right people, target the right influencers. And step number two is then to make a short list. And what you want to aim to do is to create a list of at least 20 top influencers whom you want to target. And then this is what I want you to do first. I want you to actually be a social media detective. All right, what do I mean by that is I want you to follow them wherever they are. Whatever social media platforms that they are on, those 20 people that you have already listed on your list, I want you to follow them on every single platforms that they're on. Sign up for their RSS feed, sign up for their email updates, and then read everything that they have put out there. Okay? Engage with their contents. See what kind of audience are they catering to? What kind of contents do they give to the audience? What kind of values are actually engaging to their community? Learn as much as they can, because this is going to help you later on. Okay, number three is to actually befriend them first. Before you ask them for a favor, you want to actually be able to add value to them first. Remember that social media influencers, they are human beings as well, right? So do not just treat them as a commodity that will take your money if you just shove it to them, right? They are people with feelings, and they will react positively towards those people who have added values to their lives, who have taken the time to build rapport with them first. So I suggest some of the things that you can do. If you are good with blogging, you're good with writing, and if these social media influencers have a blog, you can actually offer to guest blog on their blogs. Right? You are actually giving them value without asking for anything back in return. You can also share their messages. You can share their contents on your social media platforms. You can leave them comments, preferably as soon as they released it. What that will do is it will push your comments to the top section. The sooner that you respond, the more people will actually comment on your comment if it's a good comment. Does that make sense? When more and more people engage on your comments, it is going to help to keep your message at the top of the pack. And what that will do is to help the social media influencers to notice you more. Next thing is you can mention them as well whenever you create a content, right? Try to mention them and put them in a positive light. And this will help you to actually establish rapport with this social media influencer. Just remember that you need to actually communicate with them the right way, okay? Because they are human beings, they're not machines, right? They do not have to take your money. Let me repeat that again. They do not have to take your money just because you have the money to engage them, right? So it has to be a two-way relationships. With a really good influencer, you want to maintain a long-term relationships anyway. So it is good to take the time to do your homeworks. It is good to take the time to actually add values to them first, to actually answer their needs if there's anything that you can do to help them at all. Right, number 4 is to actually reach out to them. So first of all, you need to know, out of all the channels that they're in, which one is the favorite channel that they like to use to communicate with their audience. Right, after you identify that channel, then you can actually craft your outreach email. First of all, you can tell them about who you are and how much you appreciate their content and their channels. Tell them that you feel that this is a brand that you think you can cooperate with. You think that there's a potential for synergy and mutual cooperation. And this is also where your homeworks pay big dividends. Because if you have done a good job in spying on their contents, you can actually reference on some of the things that they have talked about in the past, and that will instantly build rapport, huge rapport with this influencer. And that will make you stand out from all the other marketers out there. Then you want to tell them what your brand and your product services that you offer and how you see that that would be aligned with their brand positioning. If you're an influencer, you are not just going to take in anyone who gives you an offer for advertising at their channel, right? You want a product and a service or a brand that is somehow aligned with your particular branding as well. And next, in your email, you can also ask them about their standard rate, how much they normally charge. And your subsequent email, after they have replied to you, you can then pitch and negotiate. Right? What I mean by that is you can now pitch what is your desired price range and what is your budget. And this is the time for you to negotiate, right? Whether you can negotiate it down to $5 or by $10, every single dollar actually helps and it counts towards your bottom line. Right, so there you have it. Those are the 5 steps how you can woo and how you can engage the social media influencers effectively. If you do this right, you just need a list of say 10 to 20 really good influencers to keep your marketing going non-stop in the future. And if you do this right, this will elevate your brand to a level that you have never envisioned possible. And an added advantage is that you will also get some of these followers in their channel who will now notice your channel, your page, and they will come and like you, they will come and follow you as well. And in that way, you are actually also increasing your followership as well. All right, so I hope that this video has served you. I hope you have gotten values out of it. If you like videos like this, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and the subscribe button so that you'll be getting more videos like this. So until we meet again in the next video, take care.